The New York Giants have been eliminated from the playoffs.
Don't get eliminated!
It's week 13. They lost all of these games. They already fired their head coach. They finally fired their defensive coordinator. They haven't won a road game in over a year.
Well, I could go on for hours, but I'd probably start to bore you. You know,
Since 2017, they have the worst record in the NFL. It appears they have hit rock bottom and grabbed a freaking shovel. There is no team that is harder to watch in the NFL right now. It's not even close, and I'll tell you why right after this. Let's start first with the blown leads, as this team just loves giving up a sure win like Lloyd and Harry at the end of Dumb and Dumber.
Two lucky guys are going to be driving around with those girls for the next couple months.
The Giants led the Cowboys in week 2, 13-3 in the second quarter, and also held a 3-point lead at both 2:44 and 25 seconds left in the game. They lost in overtime. In week 5, the Giants led the Saints 14-3 with 13:01 left in the second quarter. They proceeded to give up 23 unanswered points. In week 7, they held a 19-0 lead against the Broncos into the fourth quarter and still were leading 26-8 with a little over 5 minutes left in the game. After giving up 22 unanswered points, they roared back via ref assistance and took a 32-30 lead with 37 seconds left. They lost 33-32. And why were they only up 2? The fucking kicker missed an extra point. In week 10, they led the Bears 20-10 with under 4 minutes to go in the game. They lost 24-20. Is this a joke? This sounds like a joke.
Look, if I was joking, I would say a horse walks into a bar, the bartender says, "Why the long face?"
Against the Packers, they led 20-19 with 7 minutes left and eventually lost 27-20. And finally, in week 12, they led the Lions 27-17 in the fourth quarter with 2:59 left in the game and up 3 points with the ball on the Lions 6. The Giants went for it on fourth down, and of course, they didn't get it. Then the Lions tied it, then won it easily in overtime. And no, there are no magnets in the ball. After this, the front office finally had enough, firing Shane Bowen, and the team broke a record in blowing 5 road games where they held a double-digit lead. The last time they won a road game, October 6th, 2024, when they beat the Seahawks in Seattle 29-20. The Seahawks were actually lining up for a game-tying field goal, which was blocked and housed by the Giants. So honestly, the G-men won that game by accident. It's kind of curious they waited this long to fire Bowen, who was in his second year as defensive coordinator and had mild success with the Titans prior. And I mean mild. One good year in 2021 and all downhill from there. It's weird to pin everything on Bowen. However, results are results. The sheer panic in the closing minutes of games, and well, the scores speak for themselves. Bowen often looked clueless in pressers, had no answers for what happened when, and his defense repeatedly got gashed both in the passing game and the run. To be fair, his personnel committed errors beyond his control. Tyler Nubin taking worse angles than a bystander filming a fight on a flip phone, Bobby Okereke not being able to cover a dead body, and Deonte Banks giving about as much effort as Bonnie Blue on the 786th guy. Anywho, Shane Bowen is gone, as was Brian Daboll, the head coach, the week before. Look, we all need someone to blame, whether it's right or wrong. It's not your fault your dad went out for cigarettes and never came back. However, it is someone's fault that the Giants cannot stop the run. Speaking of someone's fault, the most frustrating thing is, after firing Brian Daboll, it was announced that Joe Schoen will stay aboard to find a new head coach. You know, the guy who basically put together this roster and coaching staff that's about as easy to watch as Boogie Nights on a full flight. Now, this is where most fans are divided. A lot want Joe Schoen gone, and many want to see what he can do with one more year. You look at his free agent signings, a ton of misses. Paulson Adebo, Javon Holland, Darius Slayton, Chauncey Golston.
Who the fuck is that guy?
The signing of Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston really made no sense in a bubble either. You look at his drafts, it's been hit or miss. Hit on Scatterboo, Neighbors, and Dart, complete whiffs on Deonte Banks and Evan Neal, even though Neal isn't anyone's fault but Evan Neal. Here are the facts. Joe Schoen is supposed to hire the next coach, and you have to respect Mara for giving him 5 years of his 5-year plan, and he fell into the trap most all GMs do, making moves that attempt to win now without future consideration, because statistically a GM almost never sees his moves pan out. The other hard thing to watch with this team has been the literally painful, devastating injuries to happen in just this year alone. Malik Neighbors gone in week 3, Cam Scatterboo gone in week 8, Jackson Dart concussed in week 10. This team is like cable TV in prison. They let us have it for the purpose of taking it away later. Like, what did we do as fans to deserve this? The Giants are only one of 2 teams in the NFL starting their 3rd string or lower QB. The other is the Browns. There's more red letters on the depth chart than on Hester Prynne's chest. Oh, that was a literary reference, bitch. This team has the worst record in the NFL since 2017. You know, back when they took that picture of them frolicking around on a boat? 42, 101, and 1. Yeah, somehow worse than the Jets, the Browns, the Saints, even the fucking Commanders. They somehow managed to get eliminated from the playoffs in week 13 despite not having the worst record in the NFL. Like, how do you even do that? And the most maddening, frustrating, rage-inducing thing about this team is they can actually score. Their offensive line has had a lot of positives. They get a lot out of their guys that they shouldn't. Gunnar Olszewski, Isaiah Hodgins, hell, even Jameis Winston. You have to get a lead to blow it, and this offense is capable of doing that. Yeah, this is the hardest team to watch in all of the NFL. All you can say every week is... Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe for more football and stadium content. This is depressing. But I react every week to the games, so check them out. You can watch me melt down in real time. See ya.